Welcome back to Pints with Pals. I'm your host, Jason. And as usual, I'm joined by Mike and Jeremy. How's it going, guys?
Doing pretty well. How are you?
Going.
Doing good. So today we have a special treat in that it's very high ABV. The Dragon's Milk Triple Mash, 17% ABV.
So mine's
Bourbon.
different than your guys's.
Bearable. Oh.
Oh, you got the old one.
I do.
Yeah.
4
So
years
it's-
old, so I'll probably get sick.
Nah. So there's so that was I think one I sent with you before, or maybe you had a different or had the other one with somebody else, but we have the three that we had. This was from this year. It's funny because online they actually say it's 18.2%. So I don't know if they made another one for 2024, but this one's 17%.
Let's have another one. 'Cause I had one you gave me a couple years ago, and I drank that one. And then I have this one.
Well, there should have been one that looked like this also in the pack of all the stuff that we gave you, but it's not going to taste much different, I don't think. We already opened them because like you want to have them kind of warming up.
I
And
did.
actually
Warm up
have,
a little bit.
Oh,
Yeah.
I actually have a
mine is not.
triple mash. Did we even say what it is? It's Dragon's Milk Triple Mash.
Yeah.
I
feel like
did.
You did, yeah.
I was excited trying to read the container.
I'm drinking out of a no rules glass. I don't have a fancy.
Ooh, that's tasty.
But yeah. About as good as I remember last time. Last time I split this one bottle between 3 people, and now I have this one
And
bottle.
all of
for
you
one
got
person.
drunk.
Ooh. Pretty much. I'll probably sip on this all night long, but no, it's good. I definitely get all the notes that are listed in the notes.
Yeah.
Vanilla, chocolate, oat, malty.
Smells very boozy.
Yeah.
This is the New Holland distributor or New Holland not distillery. What are brewery? Well, it is a distillery too, technically. So the New Holland does Dragon's Milk. Dragon Milk is a subset of their beers. They have like a normal Dragon's Milk, this triple mash. Then they have like 6 variants now.
Right.
But I think this is the best one out of all of them. We actually have 2 more to try.
Yeah.
And those ones, they're 11% and they're barrel aged. But I don't know how well they keep, so to speak. One of them is actually called Dragon's Keep.
Yeah.
See what you did there.
So what is your guys' thoughts?
Yeah.
Well, I've had it before, and it tastes like it did a year or 2 ago. No, I like it. I do enjoy bourbon barrel stouts. I just can't drink them as much as some others like to drink them. I think I would get burnt out because they are such a high gravity beer that has such unique flavors to them. I think I would just get tired of that. I would want something different. But I think they're always a nice treat to have when I do have them. Yeah.
It's definitely a thumbs up for me.
Oh yeah, for sure. I guess I missed that part.
No. I assumed that, but you're like, yeah, I still like it. Jason.
I will also give it a thumbs up, which is weird because I don't like bourbon. I don't like bourbon beers anymore. Bourbon barrel aged.
But you've said that in everyone we've had since we've been doing this.
That's not true.
So
No, well, I guess no one liked the
Yeah, that's
Massacre.
not a fair example.
Well, okay, I guess there was that one.
What other barrel age have we had?
What
I
was
think we
that
did
one?
curmudgeons.
The Kokomon. Kokomo.
Oh, that was delicious.
That one. We had
You're
the
right. Maybe I actually do
curmudgeon.
like. Maybe I do like barrel aged.
I think you like them like I do. Like you don't want them all the time, right? But when you do have one, it is a very nice treat. It's a good sipping beer.
When it's good.
Yeah.
Because like the Massacre, it reminded me of Founders beers, and there's something about, I don't know if it's like a metallic taste that some of the bourbon barrel aged beers have. This, I don't get that. In the Coco Mango, I didn't either.
That was really good.
Yeah, this is good. I don't get.
So from the description, they say you should be tasting vanilla, chocolate, oak, and malt, or malty, I guess. But
Taste chocolate. I don't get much vanilla. I get like a hint of sweetness. So maybe that's the vanilla.
No. I think the vanilla is like right at the very beginning, right when you like right when it hits your
Yeah. Yep.
tongue a
Tip of your
little bit. It's
tongue.
like right there, and then it's just going with the chocolate, the malt, and everything else. But it's definitely there.
I definitely taste the
I also
malt more than I would normally
yeah.
in some barrel aged beers. I feel like that gets lost.
I also feel like most barrel aged beers always get like a raisiny kind of flavor too,
I'll get
maybe
that
almost
with this.
prunish. I get that just a little bit with this one.
You do
But
you
again,
do with
mine's
this one?
also yeah, but
Oh yeah.
also mine is
And
4,
that's what they say
3 years
happens
old.
after
So
sitting in a bottle for longer times too. They start going. They call it raisining or something like that,
yeah,
where it starts
that's
going
right. We
to
did both
more of a
Mm-hmm.
raisin, like a dark fruit.
Mm-hmm. It's still good though. I enjoy it. So
Well, you good thing because you
does anybody
probably
know
have
what kind
another
of
one
hops
somewhere in
are in
your.
them?
They had
Uh,
almost absolutely no information on the
No. Okay.
webpage.
I was just kind of curious what kind of. I'm always kind of curious what kind of hops they use. Like I'm sure they started off like as a stout, some type of high gravity stout, and then I'm sure they probably use noble hops, and then from there they would um, throw it into a barrel itself.
The the thing that I wanted to bring up, and maybe Jeremy, you would know the answers. Um, what do you think the odds are of them producing like 5 beers that are all barrel aged and all almost completely different, and all 5 of them come out to exactly 11% ABV?
Uh, what are the odds? That's a good one. I feel like there's definitely some chemistry, and I guess what I mean by that is that there you have somebody that's probably mixing or backfilling with like more beer to thin them out a little bit. So let's say they come with 13%. I was like, that's too, I would want that. But we already have the base beer. Let's just add in whatever we need to get it down to that 11% marker. I can see that happening because that's
Do,
what they do with like whiskeys and stuff like that, right? They just kind of, if it's too much, they would try to take some of the edge off.
I'm trying to like theorize as to why they would even want to do that.
I don't know. I don't know if there's a legal reason.
Yeah, but they produce this one though.
So
So like,
yeah, they do. So
so then this is
I
like
don't
one
know how
of the highest ABV beers I even
that's
have.
strong. Yeah, I don't
yeah,
know.
it's huge.
I wonder if there is a law stating like, yes, you can make this style of beer, but you only make so much of it, and then to get around that, you make something less. But again,
Yeah,
just
I'm throwing
theorizing.
like
Not to have
yeah,
no idea
spitballing here. I
because I
felt
live
like
in a state that we can only make 10.2% ABVSIs that we can legally sell in my state. So it's like it's hard for me to really think of unless, like I said, unless it's a legal thing. They just, or maybe it just costs too much. It could be a financial thing too. Like,
Yeah.
yes, this sells really, really well, but it costs a lot of money. We can make 2 11% beers that cost the same amount of the funds as it does to make the 70%, and we may
yeah, I guess
sell
so.
as much. So
Yeah, I'm guessing there's probably some sort of diminishing returns when it comes to like sugar versus what the actual yeast will convert into alcohol. So like at some point you're just dumping sugar into something that the yeast can't consume. So
yeah. So then there'd be the specialty yeast too. So you bring that up too. Like they have all this high alcohol or well, you have all the sugar needs to be eaten by the yeast. It produces all this high alcohol. Then you need a certain yeast they can handle the high alcohol, which most yeast can't. So you have these specialty yeast, which I'm sure are not cheap, even being a brewery where you can potentially buy a lot at a discount. I'm sure it's still not cheap, right? Overall, because they don't.
new
A lot of breweries don't use liquid yeast at all. They use dry. So they buy these huge bricks and they'll kind of bust them up and they'll just toss them in the uh, there's a name for it for fermenters, but there's like another name for it. I think it's a mash tun. I think it's called mash tun or something like that.
yeah. I've been to they have like a second, it's not their brewery, but they have a secondary like how it's Knickerbocker, but I don't remember what the name, like a brew house, I guess, where they
Mm-hmm.
sell their beer, and then they have like some of the best food out there in the Grand Rapids area in Michigan that
Okay.
I've had. I have not been to the New Holland the actual
Brewery.
brewery.
Yeah.
Sorry,
Right.
I'm planning this big trip down to Kentucky to go to all the distilleries, so now that's on my brain. And it doesn't help that they have Dragon's Milk bourbon, so like I keep like my whole brain is just kind of all messed up on here. But yeah, the the consensus on this is 3 thumbs up. I don't know if you ever
So
said.
far,
Okay.
yeah. I mean, I don't think anyone. We all gave thumbs up.
I don't think it's going to change. I just think it's going to get a little more mellow and sweet
Yeah.
as the more.
I'm trying to
more
research Michigan beer laws on the side here.
The other thing I was thinking, because I couldn't remember what your legal limit was, I could have seen them stopping at 10.2 in order to distribute throughout the rest of the states if they were going to plan on doing that. But then they went to 11, so I'm like, they're a Fender. What are those things called? An amp. Turn it up to 11. Was it Fender?
Yes.
What was the one that?
It's not Fender. It's an old
Stratocaster
like
or
60s movie.
Spinal Tap.
Yeah, Spinal Tap. It goes to 11.
I know,
It's
but
just
I
one
think they
higher.
did that, didn't they? Or was that just a joke?
I don't think it was just a joke.
It was the whole movie was a
Joke.
joke
I feel
about
like I've never seen it.
But they're like, but
You've
what does
never
that
seen
mean?
it.
One higher is like it's just one higher.
Yeah, so I can't really find anything. I'd have to dig deeper. The interesting thing though is if you think about it, like this is a wine. It's higher than a wine because wines are 15% and this is 17.
Yep.
This is approaching liquor. It's almost a spirit. Which that would how would you know it's well, I guess it's distilled versus brewed. I don't know.
I think when you make liquor, I don't know for sure actually now, but I used to watch all those moonshiners things, but I think you still start with like a beer type mash bill, brew that, and then you distill it. So you're still brewing the beer. So like they could make liquor out of this if they wanted to, but I think you don't need it to be that high of malty. I don't think you need that much flavor necessarily in it to get to the alcohol content that you need.
I mean, it'd be interesting to go to New Holland and ask them. I'm sure they would talk about why they make the 3 variants or the 3 main ones at 11%, and what hops they use in this.
I can actually probably ask one of my dad's friends' son is like his best friend is the distiller at New Holland, so he works in the distillery. Yeah,
Dad's
it was a lot of
son's
jokes.
best fun. 4
I know
degrees of
him.
separation.
I know him, and I've talked to him
5
a few
degrees.
times, but his name is
Neighbors,
Kevin Bacon.
dogs, babies, daddies, step cousin, twice removed, married my sister.
But the next time I see him, I'll ask him if he can talk to his friend, and then talk to his dad, to talk to my dad, to talk to me. Wait.
Or like, can I just get his information? I'll just get out all these 5 people that are in my way. It's a quick question. I do a podcast. My home brewer is really nosy. He wants to know what kind of hops you guys use. But just to warn you, like I've already had 8% beer earlier because we had a virtual get together. I went to dinner. I had a Japanese old fashioned, and I'm drinking this heavy ass beer. So, I'm already toasty. So.
All right.
I was like, he's like,
I'm already toasty.
Jeremy, your face is red.
Oh, it's getting redder. I can feel it. I feel my ears starting to sweat.
I see it.
I
need those open headphones.
The
backs, I think is what they're called.
When I was looking this up, they have it in a sixth barrel. You can buy it in. I'm like, oof, that would be devastating. But I wish if you bought it that way, they would give you the tap handle because the tap handle is amazing looking.
Yeah,
they do have some of the coolest artwork, I think. It's like that little tiny dragon, but it like goes up and around a tap handle. It's just really cool looking. And so speaking of cool stuff from them, I might have brought this up already. I went into Total Wine about a month or two ago, and they have this giant pewter dragon, like a 3D version of this dragon, like hanging in it. It's probably gotta be like 80 pounds. The thing was massive, and I'm like, do you think they'd notice if I put that under my coat and just like walked out?
You should usually do 3D print one that looks
Yeah.
exactly the same, and then
There you go.
swap them like Indiana Jones style, and just leave.
But just make
Yeah,
sure
it
you
was
can
so
carry
cool.
80 pounds for a period
Oh,
of time.
that's true.
though.
Yeah.
That's the other part.
Right, I'm just laying on the floor with it on top of me, like it didn't work. I could have
Mistakes
just
were
kept the
made.
3D printed
I
one that
regret
looks
everything.
exactly the same.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was actually like
Um,
thinking about trying to print something like that because I'm just like, this is nuts cool looking. But I mean, like, what are you gonna do with it if you don't have like a giant like dead space somewhere?
Yeah, I don't know where I put it. Well, I mean, you have the ideal basement for one, right?
Right, but it would still just be in the way somewhere. Because it would
How
have to
big is
hang
it?
down. It was probably 3 feet in diameter, like the wingspan of it, but it was like curled all up and kind of like how the thing is. Like you could probably find a pewter.
Picture of it.
Well, no, because it's a local thing, so I don't know how they got it. But I
Oh.
don't know why Total Wine had it. But I really wanted to be like, how much for that display? But I don't. So
It was just
I'm-
one of the swags they had for certain companies and stuff like that. That's one thing I've been learning about the company I work for. They have a lot of swag they like to pass around to other companies and stuff like that. Did we actually supposed to be coming out with some other swag here soon? We kind of curious. It's supposed to be like cups and like kind of like these little brandy cups and stuff like that, and it'd be kind of neat. Oh,
Trying to Google Dragon's Milk statue.
there you go. Perfect. Perfect.
I love the Dragon's Milk logo, but I think the actual Dragon's Milk, like the standard one, I don't care for, and I'll drink it if it's like the only thing they have on tap. I guess that's like in that mood, or when I'm in that mood. You guys said that earlier. You were talking about being in the mood for barrel aged stuff, and I feel like I've been less and less in the mood because I went so ham on it for like a year. And now I can have like 1 or 2 a week or less than that, and I'm good.
Mine
It's
is
just
only like
it's
once
heavy.
every
Oh, you did
month.
find it.
Is that
Well, it's
it?
bigger than I thought. Yeah.
It's huge. Oh, the
Yeah.
man.
So it looks like it's about 4 feet tall and probably like 3
That's
feet
crazy.
wide. I don't think because I think it went down inside the display, so I didn't even see the tail part of it.
It's 3D molded. So is that?
Well, that
Gotcha.
could be pewter still, but probably not because they have 3D printers that'll do like that soft metal.
I don't know. The website seems very shady that I found, so I don't know if it's even orderable.
I wouldn't.
Right.
Do not pull the trigger. So did you guys
No,
have
but
any, did you do anything fun this week?
Let me think for a moment.
Yeah, I'm thinking.
I did not. I had a lot of work. This weekend, it was my buddy's birthday, and he came out. I think I may have talked about this last week, but
Good.
he came out and we hung out and drank some bourbon, drank some beer. We actually had a shoot, it's a Death Star or Death Star. I don't know how to pronounce it. It's from the Revolution Brewing Company. The master distiller or the owner's name is Death. So I don't know how it's supposed to be pronounced because I had one of the like bartenders pronounce it Death's Tar and Death's chocolate stuff, but it looks like it's like the Death Star. So it's like I always pronounce it Death's Tar.
We're not big. We're all real bad at pronouncing stuff. Jeremy can't say holotar, so.
Cannot say Holotar unless someone else says the first. Then I can say
I'm not even sure if that's how you say it, but I think that's how.
Hey, it works for me.
So
I
you
didn't
guys
do
do
anything this
anything fun?
past weekend. So tomorrow I'm doing my making my porter. So that's gonna be interesting. Oh, I did go to a homebrew meeting yesterday. It was up in Kingsport. It's a newer brewery. They've been open for 47 days. Only reason I know that's because is what she told me. Um, so I asked them, I was like, "What's your top seller?" Of course, they played this whole game with me. I was like, "Forget it. Just give me a hazy IPA." I just wanted to know what they sell a lot of. I was just generally curious. I wasn't going to place my order off of that. I just want to know what they sell a lot of. So I just got that. It was okay. I felt like it could have been more. The body was kind of weak, so they probably could have used more gypsum to bring more body to it and stuff like that. But they're also new to the area. They're still trying to figure out their systems, I'm sure, and all that kind of stuff. The food was good, so that was nice. It's a very large open space for a brewery. Like most breweries around here, are half that size. Um, so that was kind of fun. I enjoyed it. We talked about some fun things that are going to happen with that homebrew club, which I'm pretty excited for. The owner of the home or that brewery was trying to sell us some of his brewing equipment, but I don't need a barrel of beer. I'll never drink that much, and I
Right.
will never. I don't know what to do with a barrel. That's 30 gallons. What do we do with 30 gallons of beer? That's insane. Um, but it'd be fun to brew on a system like that at least once. They're just like, hey, I made 30 gallons of beer. So
Yeah.
that's tomorrow, and that was yesterday. That's about it. I still need to take a update on my Christmas lights, but I was sick and it's going to rain all weekend, so that's not happening.
Yeah.
So
As for me, I don't. Trying to think. Just been watching the Lions actually winning for
oh
once.
yeah,
It's weird. They never play this late in the year. It's crazy.
nope. It's the
um,
first time they made it to the playoffs since like
it,
1950, was it
30. I don't
55,
know.
something like that.
Oh no,
56.
no, no, no.
They were in the playoffs in the '90s, but it's the first time
Yeah,
they've gotten to this stage since like the.
Well, that's
yeah,
what I mean. Yeah,
yeah.
to
Okay.
this one here. Yeah,
I
that
don't
one was
know.
91 when
Right. Barry
Barry Sanders
Sanders.
played for him.
Barry Sanders. Yeah. Um, that's. I mean, have plans to meet up with some friends in Pittsburgh when I get back there on Sunday to watch the game. It sounds like they care more about it than me. I mean, I'm not an NFL big fan of the NFL. I guess a fair weather friend of the Lions right now because they're doing good. But yeah, it'll be fun.
Have you
The
seen that
Steelers aren't in
meme
it,
that's
so they have
like,
to watch something.
who wants people to win the Super Bowl? They have like San Francisco or not San Francisco, but the only California wants the whoever the hell's out there, San Francisco 49ers.
Yeah,
Yeah.
49ers.
And they're the only ones rooting for it. The rest of the entire country is rooting for the Lions. I'm like, that's
Someone
Oh,
new,
seriously.
yeah.
that little picture graph or infograph or whatever it was.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
that was
like,
funny. Yeah.
I was like, that's awesome because it's like the truth. And then you have
It's
like
gonna be
those
hard.
memes of like the NFL logo is like designed to
Mhm.
be the two colors of the teams before they like even know who's going to be in the Super Bowl.
Conspiracy theory. I mean, what the Lions lost twice this year because of dumb calls that shouldn't have been. I don't know, but whatever.
That's another
Yeah, it's
podcast.
yeah, it's another podcast, and it's not this one because
Yeah,
I don't know
I
anything
may or
about
may
the
not have had
NFL.
the NFL kind of colors in the background, but I did not
Nice.
intend that actually.
Hey, I'm wearing. It's kind of Honolulu blue, and it's not. We're all kind of wearing some blue today. There you go.
That's
The
green.
Lions. Well, it looks blue,
Mine's
and you're.
gray.
Yeah, there's
After
good green here.
sipping the 17%, it looks. Yeah.
Tasty.
It's a color. I see. I
Um.
taste colors. What?
Yeah.
No, that's not. That's not right. So I do have a somewhat makeshift recipe if you were to attempt to make uh, a recipe similar to this, I guess in a way, or at least what I would try to do.
Okay.
But it would be
I'd
a
like to hear it.
big recipe though. It's not something to
Well, and yeah, when you're done,
skip at.
I do have
Me too.
questions about this. Okay. Go, Jeremy. Go.
All right, so you would need roughly about 13 pounds of two-row malt. That'd be your base malt. That's where you get a lot of your sugars and all that kind of stuff. Then you use about 2 pounds of roasted barley. It's gonna be like for good color. Another pound and 3/4 for caramel. 1 pound of caramel 60 and a pound of caramel 120. Again, colors, flavors, add your biscuit notes, a little maltiness to it. 1 pound of chocolate because you definitely want that chocolatey flavor in there. And then you're going to mash that at 154 for about almost 2 hours. because it's a very thick recipe, So it's just gonna sit there and just mash for a while. It'd be cool if you had like a circulating pump, so you can just keep that wort going over top of all the grains to keep washing the sugars, or converting the sugars. From there, you're gonna want to um, add in a crap ton of hops, so about 6 ounces of East Kent Goldings for about 60 minutes when you get to the boil. And then you're going to ferment it at about 69 degrees if you can. And then you're going to use, I would probably use liquid yeast for this. I would actually probably build a starter. So basically, what a starter is, you make like a very small beer. You add this yeast into it to kind of give it a really good start going to it. I probably even add some more yeast nutrients to it as well to give it some more life. So like either White Labs WLP001 or a Y yeast 1056 liquid yeast. Once that gets done fermenting, then you're going to transfer that into a 5-gallon bourbon barrel, which is going to cost you about 175 to thousands of dollars, depending on wherever you want to spend it in. Then I would let it sit for at least 6 months before I even try to draw a sample to see what it tastes like. Because I think anything before then would be it'd be too green. And what I mean by that, like, you'll probably just taste the big heavy imperial stout. Basically, you wouldn't taste anything from the what the characters the barrels are going to impart, like the caramel, the vanilla, the oakiness, and smoke as well too, depending on what kind of barrel you have. Well, yeah, that's your questions.
The one that I was gonna I had to reread your thing because I thought you said add chocolate, but in here it says chocolate malt. Yeah.
Yeah,
I
he
think I
meant
just
chocolate.
heard. Yeah, I think I just heard chocolate. I was like, ooh, that
Hershey's
sounds
chocolate.
delicious.
Just throw it in there.
No, well, you can use, so if you don't want to use malt, you can use chocolate nibs or cocoa nibs.
Cocoa nibs.
Right.
I've seen that before, and I think a lot of them do that, and coffee. They add to or they use a coffee in their brewing. My first question was going to be like, what's the normal pound of a non-imperial stout weight wise? Do you know, like a total poundage?
It's about half of everything I said.
Okay, that's what I was
About
wondering.
half
I was
or
like,
so.
I saw 13 pounds. I was like, I've never seen double digits before.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
I've never. I think I broke double digits with the whole recipe, with everything, just not on one grain. I can tell you here in a couple seconds that my stout that I did, the one that I won the medal with, or won the competition, whatever you want to call it, only used. I apologize.
You're fine.
It's called Dark Matter, which is a great name for a beer.
Well, there's dark matter coffee.
Well, I call it Dark Matter. I
I
named it
know.
after.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's poop. You
I
named it after
lost it.
poop.
I named it after poop. Yes, I did.
Nibbler poop.
Yeah, I don't see it on my list anymore. I don't know what happened to it. That is.
Somebody hacked
That would
into
be
your
a
thing.
bad one to lose because
Yeah.
it won.
Like, I don't need this anymore. I've already won. I already know this.
No, seriously, guys, I don't see it in my list anymore unless there's a way I can look at trash. No, I would have deleted it. Anyways, I think it's about half of that is what I used. Because I could have used there's a black malt that you can use, but it actually will impart. Actually, I found it. So fine. Oh no, so it's even more less than half. So I only use 5 pounds of two-row malt in that, and everything else is just like 4 ounces of this and 4 ounces, so like another pound of like miscellaneous malts.
Wow.
So it's like 6 pounds total
Okay.
versus
15 or whatever you said.
15,
Yeah.
16, 17, 18 pounds. So yeah.
Okay, my question, or one of my questions, why? So it's called triple mash. Why is it called triple mash?
Ooh, that's a very good question.
Can you guess?
I bet you I could guess, or if I had a guess, I would.
Yes, go for it.
I'm guessing they use twice or 3 times the mash bill of their normal thing.
Mm.
Like whatever dragon's milk is, I'm guessing they just tripled the recipe.
You could have. That's one way to look at it. I also look at it as no, I think that's a good way. I was also thinking like besides that they could actually like spend extra time to rinse the grains even more. So they spend more time just trying to get all the sugars that they possibly can get to get the whole conversion rate a little bit better. There's something called like a party guile, which we've talked about before. But that's basically like, let's say I made that like just the imperial beer itself is just really strong beer, but I still have sugars that are still available for another beer. So I could potentially make like a weaker stout, a weaker porter. I could potentially even try to make um trying to blank like maybe an EBS, which is like extra special bitters. Just something that's really really weak and don't need that much sugars compared to like an imperial stout would do. I guess that's what I'm trying to think of, like with like a triple batch, maybe it was like you said, you had just the triple amount of grains, but you might spend the extra time to rinse them even better to get all the sugars you can off of it.
Okay.
You didn't have the answer.
No,
This is
I
the
don't
worst
know.
trivia.
No, oh me, no, I have no idea. There is not much on their website about this. This is definitely a we have to go to New Holland and chat with them, see what they'll
That'd be
tell
a fun.
us.
That'd be a fun ask. I'm sure that the waiters would love to know or love to try and answer that. We'd have to go to New Holland proper, I think.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Go to Holland.
Uh,
I'm ready. Let's do it. Go to Holland. Go to Belgium. You can find all the monks. You have all
Let's
the
go.
really good beers.
I'm down.
No, not Holland. New Holland.
New
It's different.
No, let's go to Holland. We'll go to Belgium. Belgium.
Oh, Belgian. Belgian. That's the
Belgium. The waffle
17%
place?
beer. I have another question.
He used
Unless
to have
Mike,
more stuff.
Mike,
No,
do you
I
have
got
more
nothing.
questions?
No.
So it's 17%. I mean, it's actually the website says 18.4. I think Mike said. How are they getting? I mean, is it just sugars that they're getting it to that high? All the grain? Like what? Like
So, me and Mike, Mike asked me this question back February of last year when I was up there, and I had to do a lot of research. I don't remember the math, but there is math for it. So you take the math of the beer itself, that's going to be your base alcohol, and then you take the potential alcohol that you could possibly get from the barrel itself, because it's still alcohol
yeah,
that's still in the wood, blah blah blah. You calculate that into it. That's a mathematical way. But there are actual tools you can use where you just give it like a few
yeah.
drops and it'll tell you exactly what the alcohol level is. So I'm
But it's
sure that's what
just
they do, but the
it's
nerdy side, you can
18%
figure
is
that out.
crazy high. Like
It is high.
that's
I think that might
nuts.
be the highest beer because I think I don't know if you guys have even had it. The zombie versus or
Yeah.
Vlad
Had
versus
it.
zombie versus shark. I think that's an 18%, and that is very very sweet. I don't understand how.
It is. It's very sweet. The very lots of caramel.
Yeah, it was sweet,
Lots of
but
caramel
not in like
crackers.
an overly sweet kind of way. Like there wasn't any like fake flavors. Like I feel like some
No,
pastry
it wasn't.
stouts kind of get into like to try and
Paste.
kill the alcohol taste. They add like non-fermentable sugars, and that
Yeah,
kinda
so they
gets
use
kinda
like
gross.
lactose.
Yeah.
That helps. No, but it was really. Well, I remember it being super sweet, but like it was definitely to me. Even though it was a bourbon barrel aged stout, to me it was more of a pastry stout. It was or a dessert stout to me. It was so sweet. It was good. I enjoyed it, but there's no way I could drink a whole bottle. I'm glad I had just the small little glass you gave me. Oh, that was plenty.
So not that we're getting a little long in the tooth, but
Yeah.
the no rules the no rules switched from giant bottles like giant 22-ounce or 24-ounce bottles to
Mm-hmm.
cans this year, and I was complaining about it, but then
Oh.
I realized how much easier it is to drink a half a can than it is to drink you have to
Bomber.
be ready to drink a bomber. Like you either have more than two people or like a party versus a can. It's like, oh, it's like a Wednesday. We can have half a can of beer, even though it's 17%. It's not like 8 ounces of beer isn't going to like put you over the edge where half of a bomber is. And you might as well just keep going. Lean into it. Full send.
Mike, you had port pipes, right?
I don't know what that means.
DKML.
No.
Founders D. I thought you had it.
Oh, I've had, yes. I don't remember it being called pork pipes.
I think it's a variant of it,
Okay.
but that's 15%.
Dick kicker
They
malt
also
liquor.
have yes. They also have Tank Bender,
Okay.
which I have 2 bottles of, which is bad at this point.
I don't think so.
It's an and Jeremy, you might I don't know how to say it. Eisbock, Eisbock. It's actually
I'd,
literally,
I'd have
huh?
to see it. I'd have to see it. The word.
It's I think it was made where they during the brewing process, the water was too cold, or something with the water being cold or being brewed fermented at a colder temperature.
Right.
Which is probably what ice being ice and Bach being a Bach beer. Anyway, that one's also 15%. I don't know of anything. I don't know that I've seen anything higher.
Well, there
Let's start by.
is.
Oh, sure.
It's very expensive. It's like whatever, $200 a bottle or whatever it is.
Utopias,
Yes. So that's
$300, and
28%.
it doesn't taste like beer. We should do it one day. Our Tates, who watches us, he has one. He has. Well, I don't know if he still. I'm sure it's gone by now, but he had a bottle.
28%. Yeah, that's pretty crazy. That's what 56, whatever proof.
Right. It's liquor.
Yeah. That's nuts.
Well.
And on that note,
I'm still a thumbs up. I'll still.
Yep.
Sorry.
Oh, yeah.
I
We'll
forgot
to go back to
definitely
it,
a thumbs up. The
Mine
nice
was
pick. Nice pick. Oh,
triple
geez. I'm
well, I
working
mean,
on
I still have a lot of my glass, but the bottle's empty.
I'm definitely a fan of this beer. It's
yeah.
It's
It's
the
not- I
best.
enjoy it.
If anybody out there finds themselves at a store and you see it, you won't be if you like these kind of beers, I guess. It's a good representation of what a barrel aged beer can taste like, I think. There are a lot of ones you can miss on that are even the same company has one that I don't really care for.
Yeah, I mean, they're good sippers. They're good. It's a good shareable beer. I think it's a great campfire beer too. It's one of the ones where you just sit outside with the campfire and just chit chat with your friends or just sip on it all night long. Yep.
Yeah, I feel like it's this time of year and that's it. Like you can't drink this in the summertime. I mean, you could, but you'd be uncomfortable. I would be uncomfortable.
Yeah.
I'm uncomfortable
Unless it
right
was
now.
like air conditioned, even then it's not the right time of the year.
Right. Yeah. All right. I want to say thanks for joining. Don't forget to have a pint with your pals.
Yes, and please drink responsibly.
And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Join the Discord. Let us know
Ask
what we
the
should drink next.
Da, da, da.
Yeah, this was actually the one I forgot to mention. This was the one that everybody voted on.
He's still going. Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Oh, nice. Yeah, so
Yeah.
vote.
Yeah,
Alright.
vote. Oh crap! Where's the book cup? There it is.
I think we're all a little bit.
Salud.
Cheers. We're all a little bit tipsy.